Today we're talking about how to manifest without feelings. Can you manifest without feelings? I mean, didn't you say in the last video that you were feeling joy and amazing and magnetic and all that stuff? Yeah, but the last video was called magnetic. It was about the magnetic state. It was about how to attract things, essentially, how to be in the state where everything is just coming to you without effort at all. So that actually does feel really good when that's happening. So I talked about feelings in that one. But is that the only way to manifest? The answer to that one is no. So today I want to talk to you about how to manifest without feelings. And we're going to get all into that topic. So if you're interested in that, just keep watching. That's what this video will be about. And if you're new here, my name is Goddess of Play, and I love to discuss manifestation in really unique ways. A lot of the time I use children's toys, or I act something out, or do something, create visuals for you, because I feel like our subconscious learns often in visuals. So I'll act things out and I'll make things really visual. So you can go binge watch my other content if you're interested in creative visuals to explain how manifesting works. If you're brand new here and you're finding me for the first time, I'd love to say hi to all my new subscribers. So leave me a comment, leave me an emoji. I always try my best to respond to all my comments, and I love giving my personal hellos to every single new subscriber. So leave me an emoji so I know you're new here. And if you want to work together one-on-one for July, I'm going to have a huge discount on hour-long sessions. If you've been feeling called in your heart to want to work with me, I can't wait to work with you. I've had crazy results, people manifesting, no contact ending, their specific person back into their life. If you're interested, go ahead and book. Check out my links. I'd love to work with you. So today we're talking about how to manifest without feelings. So let's talk about the 4 ways to manifest without feelings and why it works. Okay, so the first question I have to ask you is, what is a state? Because chances are, if you're finding me, you've probably watched some other manifestation content. I'm assuming you know a lot about manifesting, or maybe not, but one of the most basic things that you should know is what is the answer to the question, what is a state? So I'm going to give you a second, think about your answer, and then I'm going to give you what I think my answer is. What is a state? Neville Goddard says, when we're manifesting, we need to switch to the state of our manifestation being true. Sammy Ingram talks about manifesting with affirmations. Affirmations help you switch to the state of your manifestation being true, right? He says use visualizations. She says use affirmations. I say use play. But what is a state? What is a state? Well, the state of your manifestation being true. Well, then that means I see my manifestations and they're true. I'm married, I'm right. That's what most people think. It's okay. So then it must just mean where it's true. But here's the thing. Your manifestation being true isn't the only thing going on there in that state. Let's think about what a state really is. A state, the way I've kind of broken it down, just so I can understand it for myself and picture it for myself. When I think of a state, I think of the present moment, right? Because the present moment is a state. So let's think of the present moment and let's try to separate that out into aspects so we can try to get into our if we're supposed to be getting into a state, then let's at least understand what a state is first, right? Then we can think about how we can get into a state. So if I'm currently in a state, what is a state? Well, a state is, let's do the 4 things that I think, and you guys tell me, do you think there's more to states than these 4 things that I've identified? The first is the sensory stuff, right? There's a plant here. I can touch it. There's some mountains back there. I can see them. If I was baking something, I'd be able to smell it, right? The sensory. There's a blanket. I can touch it. I can feel it. Okay, it's real. I can feel it. The sensory stuff, the visuals. That is one part of a state. Now let's think. What else? Class, light waves. What else is in a state? Anyone? We've identified it's sensory stuff. Obviously, states include sensory stuff. Okay, senses. What else? I'm talking. I'm thinking. Right. So states include thoughts. That's okay. We can't deny that. That's when Sammy Ingram or whoever talks about affirmations, she does it through thoughts. She just focuses just on that in her channel as the way. So. Okay, we've got sensory stuff, we've got thoughts, which is what I'm conveying to you right now. I'm thinking, I'm saying words. So right now, even if I wasn't saying words, if I were to be quiet for a second, are there thoughts going? Let me see. Actually, no, but not really. Because when I get in to make these videos, I empty my thoughts and I let source flow through me, and I sort of get into this channeled state. That's why at the end of my videos are usually the best, because I've silenced my thoughts enough that source is just flowing through me. But most of the time you're going to have thoughts that are associated with the state you're in. Right now I'm really just flowing. So I'm in this flowing state. So thoughts, sensory. The second thing, feelings. The third thing that is in a state. Anyone else from the class want to contribute? We've got senses, we've got thoughts. What else is in a state? What else do you think is in a state? It's how you feel, right? So I would say feelings, and then it's like feelings. What are feelings? They're actually, it's very bodily based. Feelings are bodily based sensations. It's hard to describe feelings, but what is a feeling? I guess it's like your energy centers, right? Your chakras, as they would say in Hinduism, or yeah. So your feelings, how you feel, that's associated with a state too. Do I feel good? Do I feel safe? Do I feel my emotions? Am I spiking? Am I going up and down? Am I feel that adrenaline rush? Or do I feel calm and regulated? Do I feel confident? Or do I feel like confused, right? We're so, to be honest, a lot of us are so disconnected from this, because we stay in the first one, we stay in the senses. Then we might get into thoughts. We might become aware of what our thoughts are. Third, feelings. Do you really even know what you're feeling? Like a lot of the time, probably not. Because as I'm saying, your feelings are such a bodily based thing that you almost have to shift your awareness away from the senses, away from your thoughts, and then you might be able to even know what you're feeling. But feelings are another obvious aspect of the state. I'm feeling really good right now. I feel like I want to give you a big hug. I want to reach through the screen and like connect with every one of you. So that's how I feel. So how are you feeling right now? Can you shift a little bit and feel a little bit better? Okay, even though we're not doing feelings one, I just want you to feel better. But the fourth one is, so we've got sensory, we've got thoughts, we've got feelings. Anyone else? What else does a state have? What else does a state have? Movement and action. Like as I'm moving around here. Movement and action, physical, like rearranging of objects, moving this here. I would just call it movement. I would call it action. When I'm taking this thing and moving it here, taking that thing and moving it here, rearranging physically, like through physical action. People are aware of this one. People know that this one exists. Those are the four. That's it. As far as I can think of it. And I would love if you guys, if there's something else you think a state has, then let me know. But I think it's just those four. And there's like, and I've kind of got there. I didn't come there to my own conclusions. I came here to that conclusion based on the fact that when I was studying some ancient Hindu texts, I'm Indian, by the way. My parents are from India. They talk about yoga, and yoga being, the real meaning of yoga is union. Union with your desire. Union with your manifestation being true. So there's 4 forms of yoga. It's Bhakti yoga, Raja yoga. There's 4 other forms. I can't even think of them right, what the Indian words are right now. And those 4 forms correspond to those 4 that I just named for you: thoughts, feelings, actions, and visuals. So the way to manifest your desires being true is you must shift into the state of your desire being true. So now that we understand what states are, do you understand how to shift your dream state, your desired reality? We're calling it, right? Your desired reality that you want to be in, your manifestation being true. To shift to the state of your manifestation being true without feelings, you just have to match one of the things from your state, okay, that we just talked about. You never really understood what a state was, so maybe you never got that idea, but I just walked you through what a state is. And a state is not just thoughts, a state is not just feelings, a state is not just actions, and it's not just what you see. Obviously, a state includes a lot of things, these like a whole experience, a whole lived experience. I've tried to separate into those things to help you guys understand. But basically, to shift into a state, you could take any of those things, any of them, match any of them, and you can get into your manifestation that way. So that's why if you could do the actions of the person that has the thing you want, that will get you into your state. You could have the feelings of the person that has the thing you want, and then everything must fill in around you. It's like, imagine, like, if you watch Abraham Hicks, she talks about the vortex and the grid filling in. That's kind of what she's talking about. So if you hold the frequency of your state through thoughts, through feelings, actions, or visuals, any of them, right? You hold it through that, and then the rest of it must fill in and match, because you're there, your consciousness is there. And if once more of your consciousness is there than here, then it fills in around where you are. So you match the state. And it doesn't have to be through feelings. It doesn't. It can be through thoughts. So you can think the thoughts. What are the thoughts of the person who has the thing? Now let's think about your dream state, your dream reality. What are the thoughts you have there versus here? What are the thoughts you're having here? Let's identify our current state. What are the thoughts we're having here? Now let's go over there. What are the thoughts I'm having there? Well, match the thoughts. Shift your consciousness to that state by matching the thoughts. Now I'm here in the new state, and now I will see different visuals around me. I will have naturally different feelings. I will be naturally doing different things because I've shifted. I've shifted my consciousness to a new state, and around me, the grid fills in to match it. So how do you want to shift is really the only question. Do you want to shift through play? Because I've got lots of ideas about that. Do you want to shift through love and joy? Because your manifestation feels so good when you have it. You can shift through that if that's what you want. You can sit here right now, and if we really truly felt, and we can feel how good we would feel when we had that thing, how good, and guess what? It's not just about having that thing. It's about who you are, because who you are feels super good. When you get to that state where you have that thing, you realize, wait, this is me. This is what I'm feeling is myself. This is love. This is who I am. But if you can't feel it about the thing, here's how you hack your feelings too. If your state is here, we're talking about, like, you're here and you want to shift to this state, right? You match something, anything, something. Match something from that state. Shift more of yourself, more of your consciousness into that. Instead of being here, where we are here right now, take your consciousness out of here and put it there. Through your thoughts from being from there, through your feelings being from there, or your actions or your visuals. So you're just sitting there and you're imagining it so vividly, so vividly. Oh my God, I see it. I feel it. Oh my God, I see him. I see his arms. I see the light. I see such detail. I see the light reflecting off his arm hairs. Like, that is how detailed I can see. I feel exactly what it feels like when I'm opening the window and I see that view. And if you spend more time in that than this, if that becomes more true, more of your consciousness is there, it will fill in around you. So, oh yeah, I was going to tell you, if you can't feel it, if you can't feel your feelings about this, right? Guess when it comes to states, there's that state. There's also parallel states. There's states that are like this, where that one is, but there's other states that are next to it. So if you can't get to that one, hey, let's at least get next to it. Let's at least get close to it. So if you can't feel the good feelings, let's say you're trying to manifest a specific person, and what you really want to do is feel super secure. So let's say they're not making you feel secure. They're not making you feel good, right? But how can I still hack my feelings so that I can feel good? Because I already know how to think the thoughts of it. Okay, I feel good. I feel really secure, right? You're thinking the thoughts of it. Or I might visualize it. Or I might do some of the actions a person might do. But how do I also do feelings? Well, what makes me feel good? What makes me feel secure? That's nothing to do with that. Can I find the parallel feeling that is close enough that I can feel it about something else? And guess what? It's so close that when I'm there, then I can have a thought. Then I can say, oh, I feel so secure in my relationship. And guess what? I already feel secure. So then it's not that much of a stretch to go from that state to that state. It's a parallel state. They're next to each other. So if you can match the feeling of your state for something else. Let's say you love basketball. Go play basketball. Because if you feel that feeling of love, of amazingness, of freedom for something else, but that feeling matches the feeling that's in your state, you're still going to get that. You're still going to get your state coming true. If you can go do actions like what happened with me, if I was doing the actions of someone applying for jobs and getting skills, so I truly believed I was going to, I was doing the actions of my state. I matched the state. That's what belief really means. It means matching your state. I matched the state through my actions, and then other things happen to make my manifestations come true. So match your state. So what I have to say about this in conclusion, to manifest without feelings, you just understand what a state is, then slip into it in any of the 4 ways, through matching your thoughts, your actions, your visuals, and even matching your feelings for something else. You don't need to match it for the exact thing. It doesn't matter. Feel good about gardening, feel good about seeing a bird, feel good about whatever, about baking. If you can feel that homemakery, wonderful feeling that you would have as a wife, it doesn't matter if it's coming through him or not. You can have that, you have the feeling, and it's so close to that feeling that you would have with your manifestation, that from there slip into it from there. It's so much easier. Match your state and get the feeling from something else. It doesn't matter. As long as you're matching the state, it must fill in around you, because you're shifting your consciousness to that state. That's what manifesting is. That's what manifesting is all about. So I hope you love this video. I'll see you in the next one. I love you very much, and bye.